Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to the channel. So, guys, it's pretty early in the morning, but I had to get on the camera here and just talk about this crazy new leak. I'm going to say it's a rumor. I think it is more of a rumor than anything else at this stage. Apparently, new figures have been discovered on Mattel.com, which is not where you would expect them to be. Normally, you expect these to be found on someplace like MattelCreations.com. But it is an actually pretty fascinating tale, and I wanted to tell it as best as I could because there are a lot of dots to connect to figure out exactly how this rumor got started. Let's take a deep dive and see exactly which figures were discovered on Mattel.com for Master Universe, Masterverse. Let's have a look, everybody. I want to give a huge shout out to my good friend Masterversal Toy Hunter on Instagram. Eldor sent me this photo, and guys, I gotta tell you, I'm shocked. Actually shocked. Now, at first I thought this was a custom figure, but after doing a bit more research, I also found out that Canal dos Rosmineros also posted this. This was getting a little bit interesting. If we see the translation here, the caption reads, "First image of King Randor. What do you think?" So I literally said, okay, wait, something's going on here. Let's find out what else or who else is talking about this. And Eldor just happened to put in a link to a Facebook group. And clicking on that link, we find that it leads to the Master Universe fans group, which is a wonderful group for Master Universe. Guys, definitely head over there. Give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Scrolling down, we see that Daniel Luz has posted this and says, "I was browsing the Mattel customer service to find if I can replace something that wasn't included on my toys when I stumbled upon Masterverse Randor. What? I don't recall it being announced, or did I miss something? Nevertheless, I think he looks really cool." And then, of course, we have this image here. This is crazy. So, apparently, Daniel stumbled upon something on the Mattel customer service portal. I dug a little bit deeper, and apparently, there is a link to the Mattel Global Customer Service Support. Now, this is really interesting, as this seems to be a generic customer support for any of the products that they have on Mattel. This doesn't work in Canada. You actually have to type in United States. After that, click on Next. On the next page, under your inquiry, type in Masterverse. After a little bit of thinking, it'll actually come up with several different suggestions, and right at the top, there are 3 figures who haven't even been released yet, and one of them who hasn't even been announced, supposedly. Because, again, this is all a little bit strange. But I find it absolutely fascinating. Let's have a look, everybody. The first figure I want to take a look at is, of course, Masterverse Roboto. Now, of course, we got a glimpse of Roboto at San Diego Comic-Con while I was there, and he looked absolutely glorious. But these much more clearer pictures, other than the ones we actually got at the show, really helped to get some really close-in details that we couldn't possibly have gotten at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Zooming in closer, we actually get to see more of Roboto's features. We see that the eyes are actually inset in the transparent helmet that Roboto has. We can even see that the gears seem to be workable in some fashion. Hard to tell whether or not this twisting feature, all of the mechanisms along with the up and down motion of his mouth, are going to finally work in Masterverse form, but it's awesome to see this wonderful amount of detail, as the translucency of the plastic is quite clear, and we can easily see all the gears that help make up Roboto. I really do like the shiny plastic they've used for his arms. It's definitely not vac metal, but it has a wonderful shine to it, which is very convincing in terms of its overall appearance. His forearms seem to be made of that plastic material, which is metallic in its overall look, but also has that wonderful shine. The rest of his body is, I think it has a bit of a pearlescence on it, which is nice to see. And of course, he literally is patterned off of the original Roboto from the 80s, which I love so much. He also comes with several attachments, including this brand new, I don't know what it is. It's sort of like a sickle of sorts, but I think it rotates. Kind of crazy. It's really neat, and I do like the weathering that they've actually done to the blades themselves. That's kind of cool. It's some sort of like killer windmill or something like that. Jeez. And then, of course, he does have his signature blaster, which, in all honesty, kind of looks like a spray paint can. I love it. I do love we don't know what's inside this canister, or if it's just, the actual battery for the Blazer Blast. A lot of fun here. And then he does have a replaceable mandible, which is really neat. very much harking to the original version of Roboto. I love it. The next photo that was available on this site is Evil Lyn. Holy crap, everybody. This is awesome. Now, this is the first studio shot image of Evil Lyn that's been found, and I think it looks absolutely incredible. Here's Evil Lyn, and if you saw her at San Diego Comic-Con in person, I gotta tell you, she looks absolutely amazing. Getting these close-up shots really gives us another glimpse into the actual release of Evil Lyn in action figure form. She has her signature headdress, which is so reminiscent of the character from the 80s. I absolutely love this brand new edition of Evil Lyn. We've been asking for this version of Evil Lyn for such a long time. We're finally getting her now in 2024. The metallicness of her overall details is amazing. I love the pearlescence that they put into the portions of her outfit. It really does make the actual appearance of Evil Lyn pop, and I love that. Her head sculpt is probably the one that a lot of people have been paying attention to, and honestly, she looks amazing. She even has a angular nose, which a lot of people have been saying that it kind of looks a little bit even skeletal in nature, and I sort of agree. Moving down further, we can see that she has that furry portion on her shoulders as well as going around her back. It's kind of like, as I said in the past, a bit of a fleece type of adornment. She has a bicep wristband, which looks amazing, as well as her signature gauntlets. And of course, we can't miss the fact that she has her signature cape from the cartoon series, which I think is an amazing touch because it's something that wasn't included in other iterations of Evil Lyn. Interesting. I love the little details like these little skulls that adorn her waist. Those are a lot of fun. And of course, lend themselves well to the original nature of Evil Lyn, who of course had this tiny little skull at the top of her headdress. Moving down further, we can see that she has multiple points of articulation, including an upper thigh cut, which is a lot of fun. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but there seems to be some sort of pattern on her legs, which is made evident by the photography here. Fascinating. Her boots are very much the same in the appearance that they had in the original toy, and she's carrying her signature staff. It's a bit elongated. It's more of an actual staff instead of a wand, but I really do love the way they've brought this forward and updated it for 2024. New Eternia Evil Lyn is looking stunning, and I'm so glad that we were able to get another look at her here with these particular photos. Now, the figure which everyone's concentrating on the most in this post is, of course, King Randor, who was not announced at San Diego Comic-Con, but I think a lot of us have been hoping and dreaming that King Randor would eventually come into the line. This, of course, is not Revelations King Randor, who had a completely different outfit, very similar to the way he looked in the Filmation series. This is patterned off of the original King Randor from the 80s toy. And I gotta tell you, their new version of this, if this is actually a photo from that release, is pretty damn cool. Again, it still remains to be seen. This is even the actual figure himself who's going to be released. But it is nice to take a look at this and speculate as to what we're actually seeing. Randor here does definitely have that appearance of a 1980s action figure, as he does have that red armor, which is adorned with golden highlights, and he does come with his blue signature cape, which is something that was very signature to the figure himself. If we head over to actionfigure411.com, we can see some photos of King Randor himself as he appeared in the 1986 release. As you can see, he does have that signature suit of armor, which was very unique to Randor at the time. He also comes with the soft goods cape, which has been brought over to this new version of Randor. He has new boots with these additional shin pads, which cover the boots themselves, but I believe that the overall look is still retained. Moving back up to the top, we can see that the deco on his face is a little bit more weathered. He has a single strip of white, denoting the fact that he's actually an older version of Randor, as the first version did not have any white hairs on his face at all. It's interesting with this release that he's two versions of his headdress. One is a full helmet, which is more warrior mode, if you will, and the second one is actually more of a traditional Randor, with hair flowing down and wearing a crown. This one is very much inspired by the original version of the action figure, and I think it's a wonderful addition to this set. Randor also has a scepter, which was included with the character originally in the 1980s version, but it was more of a javelin, whereas this is more of an actual scepter. The final accessory in this pack out seems to be King Randor's sword, which is awesome. It has this wonderful blue jewel in the middle of the hilt itself. The crossguard represents the same pattern which is on King Randor's chest, which is a cross of sorts, and I love the way the sword itself tapers down It's more of a broadsword and really does befit a king like Randor. They've also added a Centurion type kilt, which I think works really well with King Randor. The original version is very much your standard Master of the Universe flair, being a pair of fuzzy loincloths. But I really do think that someone like Randor would definitely benefit from this type of addition. It'll be interesting to see if you can remove this kilt to reveal the fuzzy loincloth underneath. I really also appreciate the new clasps, which attach the cape to Randor's neck. That's a really interesting and new design for the cape, and I really do appreciate the way it looks. The shoulder pauldron as well is a wonderful addition, as it has this gigantic blue jewel adorned with Randor's cross. It appears he also has a gauntlet. The upper gauntlet is also removable, or at least part of the gauntlet as a whole, making it an entire piece of armor on his left arm, kind of in the same vein as Man-at-Arms. This is an interesting find on the Mattel.com website, but still remains to be seen if this is just a rumor with some very interesting custom action figures, or if this is actually an upcoming announcement release from Mattel for future release into the Masterverse line. I want to give another huge shout out to Daniel Luce from the Master Universe fans group. Guys, definitely head over to He-Man and the Master of the Universe fans group. Give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Another huge shout out to Canal dos Mineros for their coverage on this. And of course, a massive shout out to my good friend Masterverse Toy Hunter, who sent me these links this morning. And I really do appreciate it, everybody. You guys are the best. Master Universe continues to make waves, and these brand new photos seem to indicate that the line is not dead in 2024. As a matter of fact, it looks like it's going to keep going into 2025 and beyond. Wow! It's like a dream, everybody. It literally is like a dream. I mean, Master Universe continues to surprise up until 2024. And into 2025. This is amazing, everybody. Now, again, I do have to say that this still remains in the realm of rumor, because we really don't know if these are official photos yet, or if these are just either leaked photos by accident on a site, which, again, it's supposed to service customers on Mattel.com, or if these are actually custom figures, which, just happen to make their way onto the internet and mistaken as actual full releases. I will, however, say that Evil-Lyn is the same Evil-Lyn that we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, pretty much exactly to the T, as well as Roboto. Now, we haven't seen them in this great detail, but it's amazing to see them this close, if in fact these are the photos. But of course, everyone's talking about King Randor. I do believe it is the new Eternia version, as he seems to resemble his original look from the 1986 release of King Randor in the original Master Universe line. This is an amazing find if it's true, as again, this could just be a custom figure, but time will tell if this actually is the full release. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts of this brand new leak of King Randor, Evil-Lyn, and Roboto from the new collection of Masterverse figures? Do you guys think that these are actually the figures themselves, which are up and coming and soon to be released through MattelCreations.com or in retail stores? Are you guys as fascinated as I am of their new appearance in the new Eternia edition, or are you sort of not quite into these particular versions of the characters, and you'd rather they continue releasing the Master Universe Revolution and Revelation figures, as those are in actual canon? Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. And if you're in the position to help out the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon page. It's MegaJ Retro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons and channel members of this channel help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do it without them. They are the best. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really means the world to me. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. And Masterverse is going to continue into 2025 and beyond. Good journey. Geek proud.